What's going on, you guys? The Keith Carnes here. And after over 2 years since my last upload into this series, plus almost a year ago I discontinued this series officially, I've decided to bring it back simply because I've realized just recently that I've actually not talked about some criminals that I'd like to talk about. And this video here is the main one that actually made me want to revive this series, so to speak. I know that this series was pretty popular. It got me a decent amount of views. People seemed to like it, got a lot of requests in it, so I decided, why not bring it back? I definitely have some more people I want to talk about, so let's get into this episode 16. We're talking about Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, the two individuals known for pulling off the Columbine High School massacre. Now, of course, a lot of people are probably very, very familiar with school shootings, especially nowadays, as they seem to be becoming more and more popular, sadly. But they seem to be getting more and more popular by the year, it seems. But this is to this day considered the original high school shooting. Not that that's anything to be proud of, but it's considered to be the starting of a trend, so to speak. And Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris will forever be cemented in history as the two that pretty much invented school shootings. They weren't the first to do it in history, but they were the first to get mainstream attention, media attention, for what they did. So on April 20th, 1999, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold went to their school and killed numerous students and faculty at their school for mainly reasons unknown. People have speculated, but really it's not 100% known what drove them, what their reasoning was. But yeah, it was pretty fucked up. So, you know, the main massacre took place in the library of the school. They taunted numerous students, killing them. One girl, Eric Harris, who is definitely more of the aggressive one between the two. Eric Harris knelt down and said peekaboo as she was hiding under her desk, and he shot her point blank in the face, killing her obviously, and breaking his own nose from the recoil of the shotgun. Dumbass. They killed numerous people, but they actually did take mercy on two students that they knew. One they saw outside before the massacre started. They let him go. And then another one that was an acquaintance of Dylan Klebold, they decided to let him live and told him to go. So, what are my thoughts on these two? Now, once again, if you guys want to know any more information other than what I've briefly touched on here, just Google it. There's plenty of documentaries here on YouTube. So that's where you can get all your information. But this is mainly my opinion on them. This is what the series has always been about. It's me touching on the topic. So, what do I think about Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris? First thing that springs to mind is cowards. Fucked up kids is another thing that comes to my head. Just like anybody out there, you know, I think, you know, you have to really sit back and think to yourself, what makes two young men who have their entire lives ahead of them think that there is no other way out or no other option but to go to your school, kill a bunch of kids that don't even know you, and kill people that work there to make a living? What made these two individuals think that that was their only option? Unfortunately, we'll probably never get an answer for that. But these guys were not mentally ill. These guys did not suffer from some kind of a mental illness that caused them to believe that this was what they had to do. These guys had complete logical ability to think logically. These guys planned this thing in advance, and they pulled it off the way they wanted to for the most part. They fucked up a couple areas, but for the most part they got what they wanted out of it. That was to cause complete destruction and etch their names in history. And they did. But my initial thought on these guys is that they were a couple cowards who were just pissed off that they weren't able to be the most... I don't know, you know, I mean, do I think that they wanted to be popular? Possibly. I mean, they targeted jocks. That was one of the main things when they first entered the library, was they wanted all the jocks to stand up and they wanted to execute them. You know, so what was their real motivation? Who knows? Who knows? But, you know, they had a history of being weird. They had a history of being awkward. They, you know, there was plenty of kids out there that didn't want anything to do with them before all this happened, because they found them fucking weird and creepy. Maybe they were just fucked up in the head. Maybe they just had problems. Who knows the real reason? But, you know, it's a messed up thing. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Criminal Mind Talk. Leave your comments in the comment section below and tell me what you think, and if you have any suggestions, also leave those in the comments and I'll get around to doing them as soon as possible. This is Keith Carnes. Take care.